Hello and welcome to FX Street Currency and Play, brought to you live from London from the studios of Core Finance. I'm joined today by Steve Woodcock of Terra Europe. How are you today, Steve?
Very well, Matt, thank you.
Good, good. Well, let's, with no further ado, crack on with the trends today. Starting off, dollar-yen lower within the broader range. It's been a very tight range around this 110 level, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you know, we've tried to go up through sort of 115, 114. It doesn't like it up there. We're going towards the bottom end of the range at the moment. I think a bit of safety yen buying is going on as well at the moment, and I think that's why we're where we are currently. But you know, where we are at the moment, I wouldn't like to put money on where we go from here. I'm a dollar yen buyer longer term, but just in this immediate, you know, next month or two, not 100% sure.
Yeah, it feels. I mean, this currency pair is almost fallen out of favour. People are just stepping back from it, and I think if you're looking to position at the moment, maybe wait for the trend to develop.
Yeah, I think there are clearer trends elsewhere. I think that's what's happening with dollar yen at the moment.
Good stuff. Euro dollar above 118. It got up there quite quickly. Seeing that on dollar selling. Big moves on Friday, obviously. The dollar shorts may be squeezed on that stronger non-farm payroll number.
Yeah.
But is that all? Have we really kind of seen some dollar strength coming in, some real institutional buying, or is it just a bit of an unwind?
I think it was. I think what we saw was because it was a great number,
yeah.
And obviously, you know, it was one of those where, you know, it's a typical payrolls days. We had that, nothing happened till 1:30. All right, once it did continue all afternoon once it started moving, but that kick that gave the dollar that. Well, big gap actually across the board, and but we've now backed off a little, and you know we keep seeing these great payrolls numbers, and you know it's looking great out there as far as employment goes, but it doesn't seem to be able to give it that strength to continue a move, and just seems to be a respite and dead cat bounce. That's what it seems to be at the moment, but you know time will tell.
And we move on to cable, and a couple of moving parts. We had more, well, dovish statements coming out of the Bank of England. I think that unwound that positive cable trade that we'd seen build up into the Bank of England. But then again, non-farm payrolls, and that really kind of smashed cable back down near to the 130 range. Do you think there'll be some support now for the Great British Pound coming back in, maybe 131 being the next level?
Well, I think when we spoke last week, I was saying that 132.50 is a very important level. And it always has been, ever since I've been in the foreign exchange market, 32.50 has always been an important number. We backed off of that, and we're currently, obviously, we're sitting just above 130 now. I think there's support here. As I said last week, it is trading okay. It doesn't feel weak, sterling. Yeah, obviously against the euro. Yeah, but obviously this is a dollar trade at the moment. We've got this infighting at the moment about the 43 billion, 38 billion, and
divorce bill.
Yeah, you know, which is keeping a little bit of a cap on sterling at the moment, because it's. I'll be quite honest, for 2 days now, it's basically sat between 130.20 and 130.55, and it's still there. Well, it was when I left the office, but I think there is some support for it here. Yeah, maybe we do graduate towards 131, 130, 130, and see what it does again. I think you have to take it in stages at the moment, and it's not right. We're going back to 132.5, you know, top end of the range, because sterling isn't trading. Apart from Friday, isn't trading that wider range in a single move. So it's take it, you know, gradual. So.
And just finally, Aussie dollar finding support near the 0.79. Also resistance emerging around the 70.50 level. This seems to be more of a currency in play and commodity led. We've seen a bit of a push up in commodities as well. So if you had the choice of probably trading dollar yen over Aussie dollar, I think Aussie dollar would be more attractive at the moment.
Yeah, I think, like you say, we've had the rally in all the commodity prices, which is obviously helping the Aussie, and also as well when you're actually sitting there. It does feel okay, you know, considering we've gone through a very, very weak spell for the Aussie. So yeah, the commodity price is really helping the Aussie. It trades and feels okay. like you say, yeah, you wouldn't. Dollar yen for the moment. There's a narrow range on a daily basis, which you try and find and play with the range. But if you're looking for something maybe longer term, then yeah, for the moment, whilst commodity prices are staying there, then it's not a bad buy, I'd suggest.
Good stuff. Well, this leads us on to the economic calendar and a few things to look out for. I mean, one thing I will point out, the US numbers out, they're not market moving.
Not at the moment,
they won't even move the needle. I don't think investors or traders should be looking at those announcements. But a couple of interesting ones here. Tonight, Assistant Governor Kent is speaking for the RBA. That could be quite interesting with Aussie dollar moves. And I think it probably ties in quite well to the commodities. We've got China PPI and CPI due out in the morning. If we see some weak numbers there, that could then have an effect on
and following on from the numbers we had last night as well,
exactly.
which really, were quite shocking.
Yeah.
So yeah, and like you say, the RBA speeches that can be quite important, and we are seeing overnight. You're seeing big figures on these conversations. So yeah, there's stuff to look at. Like you say, the US data. We're apart from, we're grabbing at straws really, because that isn't, it's not market moving on a bigger basis, but exactly. We are quite data light this week. So I think there's really nothing there this week. It's quite a dull week. So it's purely going to be on, let's take this number, let's take that number, and like you say, they will focus on those two numbers there. And yeah, it may cause some move. It's a thinner market overnight. We all know that, and it's getting those markets are actually moving. We had a spell where overnight markets were so dull, really dull, and not doing very much at all. But we are getting some movement there overnight, and I'm coming in the following day, and I'm seeing, like you say, the Aussie especially moving. Yes. Dollar yen not quite so much, but there are. If you look around, there's movement there, But yeah, that's where we are at the moment, grasping at straws, I think.
Indeed, grasping. And what are traders that you're seeing? Are they now just taking stock? We had the numbers last week, obviously non-farm, etc., and Bank of England, and that seemed to reposition or get some new levels in place for these pairs. Are you seeing traders just sitting back a little bit and waiting for maybe some data points, US inflation at the end of the week?
I think that's where we are. We're getting, waiting for news. Trump at the moment doesn't seem to be saying anything cohesive that people are now not taking quite so much notice of what he's saying. And, I think, I don't know. I don't know where you'd go this week for guidance. Yeah. The charts, yeah, okay, they're giving you levels, but, you need that trigger, don't you? So I think it's going to be, just off-the-cuff remarks, intraday comments that we're going to see, and that's what I think that is what people are waiting for at the moment. And it might be a dull week, actually. It's already started reasonably dull, and but I've got to admit, it's a bit weird because we're at levels. I mean, I've been saying it for ages, but the indices, they're at levels where you keep expecting a reaction, yet no, nothing. And, various stuff. Dollar CAD has come down from, above 140. We're down at, 125-ish. And there's been some moves, and we're in important areas at the moment. And sterling, you would think, would maybe be moving around on what we're hearing. But, but like I say, there's something's going to trigger it. I don't know what it is. Just keep your ears peeled, I think.
Yeah, we look forward to it. I'm sure when it does move, it will really start getting moving. But until then, maybe just position yourself ready for your next move.
I think that's it. Keep your powder dry.
Exactly. Go through your accounts, look at your charts, decide where to put, opening trades if we do see those.
Well, I think this is a situation, we're in a period now where you actually do some work, where you do look at your charts, and I mean, that's what I do. I go through so many charts in situations like this, and all the different time scales, all the different fractions, and just try and look for something. I mean, it's years ago. It's days like this where I'd get me navigational protractors out and see if I could find the secret angle.
Good stuff. Well, thanks very much for joining us today, and that was FX Street Currency in Play. Thanks very much, Steve.